Chasing Points podcast. Happy Halloween. Happy good things. Happy sports. All the stuff. Happy fall. It is brick outside. Is getting more and more brick. For those that don't understand what brick means, that means cold. Very cold. When I woke up this morning, it was frost on my car. Great times. But this is the Chasing Points podcast, and this is episode 190. We've done 190 of these. We'll clap it up for that.
Hey, golf claps.
Yep.
Yep. Shout out to us.
Yes, for sure. Harrison's here. Sam's here. You've heard both of them. No Brendan today. But we got some things to run down. As you guys know, if you've been here before, we got dubs and L's. We have our records, which somehow, some way Harrison is catching up. And then we have our picks. And then we have a little basketball here and some baseball and maybe even some happy wishes to people. So, gentlemen, first and foremost, how are you?
Excellent. How are you? I do want to say
I'm doing well. Thank you.
One thing
Yes.
I did notice when we logged on here behind the scenes, we both said, "Hey, Haze, how are you?"
We did.
We did. I was mindful of it this time. So
I appreciate that.
the listening,
but it doesn't
the listeners
count.
don't
It doesn't
hear
count if the listeners don't hear it, though.
Yeah, but you know,
I did it by accident.
and I think I know,
I'm 100% sure that was the case.
Yeah.
probably it's just natural reflexes.
It is.
I know where
It is.
Brendan is. He's outside the link. His memorial for Cam Scadaboo, I think.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's out of the hospital. I just saw.
That's too
Pop
soon.
It's not too
sorry.
soon.
That's where he is. So
We'll
Get
be
home.
talking about that for sure.
get some, get a cheesesteak and get home safely, Brendan.
The chief security officer just read a report that the chief security officer for the Eagles dropped off pizza and cheesesteaks for Cam at the hospital. So
When you address him, you call him Big Dom.
Big Dom.
That's number
Oh
one.
yeah, Big Dom.
Yeah.
We know Big Dom.
And yes, that was who did that, and I was going to talk about that. So Harrison stole that from me. So thank you.
It's classy. It's classy.
It is. We'll get into some more classy stuff that has
There's
to
not
come
really
from
a
Philly.
better, classier fan base than Philadelphia sports.
Not at
fans,
all.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, when I think classy fan bases, I think Philadelphia.
Don't
All
ask
right, so
JD
let's get
Drew
into dubs and
or
L's
Santa
here.
Claus, but, you know.
Gentlemen, Harrison, you want to start with your dub, please, sir? I'm not
Sure.
gonna take this slander.
My dub's going to go to the Packers. I liked what I saw from them yesterday. They've looked a bit shaky the last couple weeks, but they looked more so like that team that, throttled the Lions in week one.
Yeah.
Going into the fourth, they had 14 points and they ended up with 35. So quite the nice turnaround in the fourth quarter. They rattled off a couple really nice possessions in a row on offense and were able to get the dub against the Steelers, who I do think are a little bit fraudulent. Their defense has looked really not good this year, and not used to what we're seeing from the Steelers. But, the Packers, it's a primetime game Sunday night, and they really showed, what that offense is capable of. They have receivers just all over the place. Jacobs running around, out the backfield. And Jordan Love had probably one of his most impressive games to date. So just wanted to give them the dub of the week for me. And they're kind of looking like they're in control in the NFC North, but we still have time. So for now, they are my dub.
I like the for now.
For
I
now.
I still don't trust the Packers at this point, and it's
It's
predominantly
weird.
because of Jordan Love. It's because he's very inconsistent. He has flashes of I'm the best quarterback in the league, and then he has flashes of I don't know what I'm doing out here, and I will throw the game away. Defensively, getting Micah was phenomenal. You can see once they're up, that blitz is coming. And Micah is going to get around the corner. So for all those that said Micah was washed, first off, if you're new to this podcast, I love reading comments in there and seeing delusional people or people that are just solely trolls out there and try to say that Micah's washed and that he's overrated or whatnot. That's the easiest way for me to say that you don't know ball if you say something like that, because Micah is an absolute beast. The way that he gets around a tackle, it is wild.
I just don't know what parts of the internet you're on that if people love Micah Parsons was washed.
Listen, man, I have a
Didn't he make
lot
like
of
all pro like 3
follows.
years in a row?
I have a lot of things that I look at of multiple fan bases, so I get to see
He's on the dark web.
the most
Dark.
erroneous shit from every fan base.
Yeah.
And it's comical at times. It could be infuriating if you're not capable of handling said comments, but
We
you
could
should be
play a
all right.
game with you where it's like troll or bot.
We
Yeah.
should do that because I can
Yeah.
I can call out a bot pretty much now. But
Yeah.
Hayes finds the very dark parts of Reddit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't actually find my sports stuff on Reddit, so that's good. It's only on X. But yeah,
Okay.
no, I think the Packers are.
I don't know if that's any better, but here
Yeah,
we
that
are.
could be worse
It's
nowadays.
not. It's not. The Packers are the mystery starburst to me.
Okay.
That's what they are.
It's very confusing to me why I'm not more confident in them because they truly do have everything they would need to
They
be
do.
a Super Bowl team. And I just can't get there with them yet.
I think it's just because they haven't won anything big yet. You know,
Yeah.
we've seen teams that have pieces, but until they win something big, in a big game, which is going to have to be like a playoff game or like like you said, like a game against like the Lions or the upper echelons of the league. I think until you sharpen your tools on that, like you're beating up on teams like the Steelers. Like, let's be real. Like, as you said, Steelers are fraudulent. We don't know who they are, what they are. The fact that they're the odds of the Ravens still being the team to take the AFC North says something about them. So I think it's just, yeah, Harrison. I really don't know. I don't really trust them either.
The offensive line's been a bit shaky.
Yes.
Too. I mean, I agree with you with Jordan Love. I mean, he can look like a top 10 quarterback or a bottom 10 quarterback in a given week.
Mhm.
But there are a lot more moments that, to me, that are like, oh, he needs some help here. Especially with the line. But I think he looked really good yesterday. And look, they were down multiple scores at halftime, right?
Yeah.
So it was, they found a way to get back. I love, I've been
Shout out to Kraft.
Yeah, pounding the table for this receiving core for a long time. I really like all these receivers.
Agree.
So yeah, Tucker Kraft, National Tight End Day, just having a game. So like that was fun to see too. But yeah, no, I like this Packers team, and I'm just glad I don't have to hear about Aaron Rodgers anymore because it was a little much last night. But
It was a lot, especially those uniforms too.
oh yeah, well,
I don't think any of us did any of us put that in the L section? Because
No, but it should be there. It should be there.
That is not a good choice.
No,
I just don't understand anything about that. Maybe
it's worse than the Bumblebee ones.
Yeah, way worse.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
worse. Way worse.
And the ones
That's saying
the
something,
Packers
'cause those are
had years
terrible.
ago too, those were really bad.
The navy blue with the yellow on top.
Yeah.
I hated those. Oh my god.
I think anytime
Horrendous.
you're breaking out nude colored pants, you just
Not
shouldn't.
a
now
good
what you
look.
want.
Like we just didn't learn from the Giants last year,
Nope.
and we're just going to continue to do it. So
Mhm.
And what's hilarious is it's the most viewed show of the week.
Yes.
Sunday Night Football gets the highest ratings of anything on television.
And this is what we
Harrison,
decided
you
to
said this
break
to
out.
us last night. You have two teams with the most iconic colorways and jerseys in all of sports, right? The Packers and the Steelers. And you're in prime time on Sunday with that atrocity. It was so funny.
Yep.
My God.
and I don't mind the all white Packers.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
I like those.
No, it was
but
fun.
yeah, if you're an iconic franchise, like wear your color, like wear your uniforms, especially on Sunday night.
Or if you're gonna do throwback, don't do throwback from the first team that ever played as the Packers. Like, let's not do that. You do a throwback like the Brett Favre jersey, or like when then they had the Giants last year. Do like the old, like the Giants jerseys from the '90s. Like, we don't have to go all the way back to give us the history. Like, none of us care about that far back because we weren't alive then. So stop showing us those terrible jerseys, please. That's an L for whoever decides to choose those garbage jerseys. Whoever.
we can leave those where they came from.
We can.
I was hoping for a surprise power rankings of
Worst
Harrison's
jerseys?
worst jerseys. But
That one would
they're
take me some
definitely-
time. That would take a while.
Yeah, that we can't do that one on the fly. That's gotta be some
that's some thought that has to be put into it.
Yeah, but just like prime time Sunday night, like But what works and what resonates with the majority of people that are watching is, like, especially now, like all this nostalgia stuff, right? Like the Bucks dropped the creamsicles the other day, a couple weeks ago, and
Phenomenal.
that looked great. And the Broncos yesterday,
Yeah, also awesome.
With
Yep. And also
throwback.
the Eagles with Kelly Green.
The Eagles were Kelly Green yesterday. I mean, like, and then the Steelers.
Yeah,
Whatever that
great.
was. Anyway.
Not great. You know what was great, Sam?
What was that?
Segue.
Your Jets. And
Right?
I want to give you some time to be proud. I know it's only one win, and I'm not minimizing that, but the comeback was absolutely solid. So I want you to take some time and take a victory lap, sir.
Thank you, sir. I will not take a victory lap because I didn't say I told you so. I believe we all picked the Bengals. It was a fun game, and looking at the slate, like going into the day, it's like, oh, these games could be close and good. And it was, I mean, I'm biased here, but I thought it was the best game of like the 1 o'clock slates that I off the top of my head right now. I mean,
it was.
Yeah,
I ended up turning off like Red Zone or all the other games and just watching the end of that one. But I told I've said this on the podcast a couple times. I wasn't going to talk about the Jets anymore because I'm just burnt out. But yesterday, the Jets and the NFL lost Nick Mangold, center for the team, who was one of my favorite players. And I don't think you need to be a Jets fan to appreciate a guy like Nick Mangold.
Mm-hmm.
And, he passed away way too young at 41 with kidney disease. He posted a couple weeks ago. I don't know if we talked about it, but that he couldn't find, or, he was looking for a donor, or, that he needed, severe treatment and whatnot. And unfortunately, he lost that battle, and it was just awesome to have that win. So even if it's just one win all year, which could very likely be the case, a W for Nick was pretty dope. And he needs to be in Canton, and I've said that for a while. But he had a great career, and it's strange when you're 19 years old, you're a sophomore in college, and the draft's on, and we draft a center and a left tackle, and I'm like doing backflips. You're not supposed to be happy when you're drafting DeBrickashaw Ferguson and Nick Mangold, but it really did set the tempo for the last time the Jets were good. Just just the identity of that team when you built teams inside out and you just ran the ball. And we were really good at that. We had really good defense, and Nick was a big part of that. So, prayers to his family and stuff. That awful, but so W for the Jets, but asterisk Nick Mangold here. So,
well said. Number one. I'm going to take an angle that you didn't talk about, which is Justin Fields. After being openly criticized by the owner, good old Woody, and how bad he talked about Justin Fields as if this young man wasn't going to go out there and still play quarterback for this team. Justin Fields had a hell of a game, and probably the best game of his young NFL career. And I want to give that young man so much kudos, because after his post press conference, he was extremely vulnerable, talking about how he cried in his closet, just wanting to get one win for the team, just one win, and just being open about that. He could have went low. He could have talked about the owner. He could have absolutely said, this is what you thought I couldn't do. He could have done so many different things to get back at the owner, and he made it about his team and what he wanted to do so badly for his team. And I believe that, I know we've talked about Aaron Glenn and how this looks not so great, but if you still see the team and how they rally around Aaron Glenn and the energy that he gives to this team and how the players still gravitate to him, I think one of you said it when we talked about Aaron Glenn last. What did we expect for him going into this season. Like we didn't expect for them to be a contender. We expected for a guy to kind of turn around the culture, and that takes time. And I think this may be the shift, even though it's a 1 win. It may be the shift, culture wise, in that Jets locker room, and showing that these guys have been in games late. They just blow it. And I've said this on this podcast before, is being in those close games over and over and over and over again, regardless if you win or lose. But we're talking about losing, and it could be defeating, but if you have the right people around, it can be encouraging. Right. And I think this is an opportunity and a teaching moment of showing, hey, listen, we've been the laughing stock of the league, and now we did this. We had a game like this. Let's see where we go from here. So I just wanted to give him Justin Fields love.
I would love for that to be the case, but they still have, Clown at the ownership level. And
of course, yes.
Who's
top down, yep.
Just going to make poor decisions over and over again. So I'm hoping they give Aaron Glenn more of a leash that I think he deserves. I think he's a solid coach, and they've had a tough run of luck early on in this season. Same with Justin Fields. Like, I want so badly for him to be good.
I agree.
I really, really like this kid. I think he's super humble. I think he's talented beyond measure, and I just want him to be good so bad. And I just hope that the ownership allows them to grow in that way, because like you said about, the scenes in the locker room afterwards and how much these guys seem to really be pulling for each other. You hope they get to see it through before, any rash decisions.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up, because of the just embarrassing Jets moments. It's just another one I haven't even thought about. And it's probably everyone that talks sports with me and said, knows I'm a Jets fan, has brought that up to me this week. I'm not even thinking about it, because it's another just throwaway thing that is just like kind of just really embarrassing. Yeah. And I think you guys nailed it. And no one expects anything out of this team, especially now, or Justin Fields, but to be in the position that he was in, and Woody's just a clown. You're a clown, bro. You're just like, it's, it is what it is. And I'm glad Tyrod couldn't start, in the sense of that this happened. And, hopefully the next organization that Justin Fields is with, whenever that is, won't fail him like the other three have, because the Bears did, the Steelers, that was a different situation, and with Russ in there, but and Arthur Smith and Tomlin, but the Jets have definitely failed him, and Matt Eberflus and the Bears failed him. So I'm glad that, whatever is next for him, because I'm assuming he's not going to be the quarterback of this team long term, and that's sad, but he's a good dude, and that was a hell of a performance, especially under the circumstances. So I hope he continues to start.
Yeah, I would just love for him to get a chance with a proper organization. Yeah. Like, I think he has the talent to be able to succeed, like a Sam Darnold is doing, like a Daniel Jones is doing, with the right team around him.
Yep.
I'm not saying I don't think he's in that upper echelon, obviously, where he can carry a team. We've seen he's not capable of doing that. Yeah. But I think at least give him some tools and, an offensive line and a team designed to play around him. And I think it'll pay, great dividends for the next team that he's on, and hopefully he gets that chance.
I hope he does. I really, really hope he does. I want to give a shout out to Eagles fans.
This is one of the most, when I saw this, I was like, where's he going to go with this one?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you that have listened to this podcast and know that I love my Eagles probably think this is going to be a moment to gloat and the winning that they've been doing. But this is actually about something that they get ridiculed for very, very often, and they took the opportunity to do the right thing. And I'm talking about what happened with Cam Scatterboo, with him dislocating his ankle, and how gruesome that looked, and the standing ovation the Eagles fans gave them. Now, if you don't know Eagles history, this is your first time listening this podcast, first time hearing anything about Eagles fandom. Eagles fans don't have the greatest reputation. Santa Claus, so on and so forth. You can just continue to go down
JD
the
Drew.
road. Yes, yeah, a whole bunch of different things, right? They're not well liked. Let's just put it that way. But the fact that they took the opportunity to stand up and salute Scatterboo, that's one thing about Eagles fan base, and I just see it in general for Philly sports. Is if you're a dog and you're from the opposite team, they appreciate the hard work, and Scatterboo is 100% an absolute dog. And the fact that he went down like that, it was super, super sad. But I just wanted to take the moment to give the fans glory for what them doing the right thing, which is the right thing in that moment, and not take the low road because they're your rival. So just wanted to do that. That was that.
Yeah, no, it's warranted, and they obviously saw, like, it was cool to be able to see Giants Eagles these first, not back-to-back weeks, but so close together. And, you hope to see that battle for years to come, as it seems like it could be if the Giants go down the right path. But I think those teams, obviously, and that rivalry is so special to the NFL, like New York and Philly, especially special to us, is because of the proximity.
Sure.
But when that rivalry is good, and when, the NFC East is, battling amongst each other, that's what I remember from when I was younger, and that's the stuff that I love. So, for the Eagles fans to show class in that way, it's easy to, in that sense, for a player like Cam Scatterbo, because we've seen it early on in the season. Like, that dude is just going to run through a brick wall, and it's kind of the throwback football player that we love before kind of all of like the CTE stuff. And, he was that in a way where it's like he's going to go all out all the time. And it was heartbreaking to see him kind of go down with that injury, because you just want to watch players like that on a week-to-week basis. You want to root for players like that on a week-to-week basis.
Absolutely.
And him just having this short time in the NFL and having that amount of respect just goes to show, how he put it all out there early on in the season.
Absolutely.
And it showed. You had people that were not Giants fans finding themselves pulling and rooting for this team because of the identity that they have started to shape early on in the season. Devastating injury for the Giants, and I'm hoping they can rally a little bit, but it looks really tough for them. But
it does.
Going forward, hopefully he can make a full recovery, and I think they have some really good pieces in place to make some of those NFC East rivalries really great again.
Yeah, Neighbors down, him down.
Yeah.
That young offense is going to be something to deal with for years to come.
Yeah, and even this year, it's not just losing those guys. It's like Scatterbo is like an identity shift. It's that type of player shifts an entire culture. Like, maybe he's not the most talented, or he's never going to rush for 4 yards a carry, but just the identity that they were shaping is going to take a huge hit going forward. And that type of stuff is like not replaceable. So I'm hoping he gets well soon.
Well, yeah, you could. There's not much finesse there, right? It's like point A, point B, but he gives you everything. But it's really been a galvanizing kind of moment for this team, and hopefully, it for Giants' fans' sakes, and for the team, they continue to make incremental, incrementally add to this and just get better.
Yeah.
There, Jackson Dart, continues to move forward here. But awful blow. You hate to see that.
I agreed. What I hate to see is also something that came from this game. And it is an L, but I have two parts in my L. And the first one is the Zebras. That's the refs. That was one of the most poorly officiated games that I've ever seen in my whole entire life. And I'm talking about the Eagles-Giants game, if you're not aware. Jalen Hurts fumbled the ball, technically. Fumbled the ball on the tush push, which was absolutely very clear for me, and I'm saying that as an Eagles fan. I'm obviously not upset about it, but it also pushed the narrative further of we need to get rid of the tush push because of plays like that. How is that the Eagles' fault? Isn't that supposed to be officiating? Yes. The Quinyon Mitchell, Slayton I know people are the pass interference, whatnot, that situation. There was a play that Nick Sirianni lost his absolute mind. I think it was there was an offsides, I think it was. But there was just multiple calls in that game on both sides. So either fan base, whoever was going to lose, was going to be louder about that. I don't think they necessarily changed everything. It definitely could have. Well, those two would have been a turnover and a touchdown potentially. Yeah, refs haven't been for the last couple of years been too great and miss a lot of different things. But again, I also am not a ref, and I'm also not there watching these guys fly past me and not seeing things. This is why I believe there should be more interjection and making the right calls, and seeing and having that. I know it'll potentially slow up the game, but I think I do also enjoy the human element too, of the game. Like that's what we grew up and we've known our whole entire lives is a human element. And I don't want it to be automated like everything else. So I'm like caught between a rock and a hard place because I want the game to be called right. But I also enjoy the human element of the situation because it just adds to the drama of the game. You know what I mean? So I think that part is very, very, it's up in the air, and I would love to hear your guys' interpretation of that. But before you do that, the other half of my L is Myles Garrett.
I've heard of him.
He's pretty good at football.
He is
Yes.
pretty great at football.
That's my line.
But this moment, not so much. Myles Garrett had a 5-sack game.
Yep.
And the Browns still lost.
By a lot.
By a lot. And they asked him, what he thought about it. And he said he would have traded in this game, all those sacks, for a win. And you can see how disappointed he was on the sideline, smashing his helmet on the bench, upset, sitting by himself away from the team, and clearly upset. Myles, look at me. You and me, let's talk for a second. You chose this shit. Nobody else chose this. You chose this. You had an opportunity to leave. Everybody in the league was trying to get you. They put all their dominoes in, all their cards in, all their money in the middle of the table. And you said, I'm going to take the bag and stay with Cleveland. So you, sir, do not get an opportunity to sit here and bitch about the Browns sucking because you knew they sucked when they drafted you. You knew it during your negotiations. You knew it when you had an opportunity and everybody else was trying to get you. Sir, you made this choice. You took the bag. You're a part owner of the Cleveland Cavaliers. You got all the money in the world. Really? Yes, yeah. He's a percentage of that.
Yeah, sure.
Minority owner.
1%.
Great for you, bud. You have all that money. I hope that makes you feel better when you know you're never going to get anywhere close to the Super Bowl, my friend.
In his defense, do we not value loyalty?
We do value loyalty, but he was loyal for all those years. He had an opportunity to leave.
It's a really fine line because it's like the Dame Lillard thing, right? Like it was too long, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Or now it's when is Giannis when is it
too much?
Like the team is clearly failing him. It almost makes you kind of like look at LeBron, like with the Cavs the first time, or even the second time. Like like, yeah, maybe they should have done more, but I mean they did. They just got the wrong mix of people. But
correct.
Yeah,
I think for him,
part of me like I respect the loyalty and like the Dame Lillard thing. It's a good comparison, and it's just like. Ring culture again. Yeah, I mean, he could have definitely. He would have gotten the bag from anyone else too.
Exactly.
So that makes me just think, like, man, this dude just likes Cleveland.
Likes being in Ohio.
He loves it there. I mean, he's built a life there, and I still think he should be able to bitch and voice his concern because he's got a vested stake in that program, in that organization. Wrong, probably wrongly.
Thank you. Okay, good to go. Uh-huh.
But I think he still should be able to bitch because if I got 5 sacks and we got blown out, I'd be bitching. no matter what my money situation was.
To be fair, as an athlete, you're playing the game, right? Regardless of where you're getting money, like you grew up playing this game to try to win and get to the pinnacle of the sport,
100%.
right? So yes, you're absolutely right in saying that, right? But you also, at what point, like to me, going back to the loyalty portion of this, you were loyal all these years leading up to this. You became one of the best defensive players in the league. Everybody knew it. You stayed around. You did what you had to do. And the organization failed you.
Yep.
Because they can't keep things around there. You were there when Baker Mayfield was there and they shipped him off. Like you were there for all of these things, and it still never turned into anything. He was even there when Joe Thomas was there, if I remember correctly. Joe Thomas was still there during that time, right? They've had pieces there, but they never put it together, right?
No.
And he's out here watching, other people in the same division get stronger and beat them up every single year. And you have an opportunity to go make the bag and go to a better team and a team of your choice that you can say, you know what? Now this portion of my career, I'm going for a championship. So I think the loyalty aspect of, like, he was loyal enough, but I think at some time, enough's enough. And to your point about the community, like, you can still love Ohio. You're, like I said, you're a minor stakeholder owner of the Cavs. Guess what? In the summertime, go back. You know what I mean? Off season, go back. Stay there. That's your home if that's where you are in the community, right? But I mean, shit.
It just seems like it was a very personal decision where he seemed to just have valued loyalty and his community more so than winning. And that's that was his prerogative and his decision, and that's the decision he made. So
it would also help if your quarterback could throw the ball.
They're bad.
I'm
just
trying
bad.
to look what the ADOT of Dylan Gabriel was.
It's not good. And he's not great.
Yeah.
And we have Shador sitting over there just watching, and traded away Joe Flacco for
what's the head coach of the Browns again?
Stefanski.
Kevin Stefanski.
He's gonna have to get fired, quit, retire. That's the only way we're going to see Shador be the quarterback, because for some reason,
they're not playing.
For some reason, he does not want to play Shador at all.
They're not playing.
For some reason. There clearly is something going on. So, I mean, you see what Dylan has done. You got rid of Flacco. You only have 2 quarterbacks on your roster now, right? This if I'm correct, when you started off with 4. And you see Dylan Gabriel not doing great. You already know that you're not winning. Why not put Shador in to see what he could potentially do?
That's a whole
I'm going to say this right now.
We've talked too much Browns.
If Dylan has 2 more performances like this,
2 more,
there's no way that Shador does not see the field.
Maybe.
No way he doesn't.
Who knows with that? Who knows with that organization?
You're right. You're right.
It's just bad. It's just bad. Can I go back to your ref? Oh, go ahead.
It's 5.9. It's 53rd in the league. That's average depth of target. Meaning, the average air yards.
And it's not. This stuff isn't stuff we saw in college. Like, I watched Dylan Gabriel at Oregon. Like, he was not
for like 20 years.
Yeah. And Oklahoma. I watched him at Oklahoma too, and this guy never jumped off the page to me. So I was like, whatever. But they see something different, so let them do their thing.
No, see, what the problem is with these organizations is that they say, oh, this guy had one really good season in college on a stacked team. Let's go and get him. After you act like you haven't seen all this other stuff. It really irritates me, because you watch guys like Bo Nix and they absolutely doo-dooed on him and said, oh, well, he's not really going to be anything, and this guy has done nothing but ball out. But then you go and what's the guy's name that was for the Cardinals, Josh Rosen, that they were out here saying that he was going to be the next great thing, and I sat there on my
in front of me.
I just hated it. I was like, you don't see it? You don't see what I'm seeing.
But I don't even understand that one, because Bo Nix was at Oregon and was better than Dylan Gabriel was at Oregon, and the narrative is completely different. I don't get it. I don't get it.
I think of Bo Nix, and I remember Auburn Bo Nix.
He was bad. He was bad.
But he also had moments in Auburn Bo
Sure.
Nix, where he made plays that you were just like, holy shit,
no, for sure.
who is this guy? You know?
Yeah. No, he has the upside, and he's showing it now for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the fine line I feel like you weave more than us, Hayes, is like, oh, how, you need to give these guys a chance. But, at what point is it okay to give Mac Jones another chance or whoever?
Yeah.
And not Dylan Gabriel. But yeah, no, I mean, he was never special. You can make the same arguments about Mac Jones. Stacked team around him. Never really jumped off the page.
No.
But
I think to me, it's always to explain to people what my thought process is, if you care to listen.
I do.
Thank you. Mac Jones, prime example.
Mac Jones.
Alabama.
Roll Tide.
Alabama's stacked with NFL pros all around.
Yep.
So you're going to have the capability of going far and looking like the guy. But that scares me because what happens when you're a high draft pick? You go to a team where you have to be the guy without all those pieces around you, right? And so now you're asking me to carry a franchise where I was the guy on a stacked college team where I wasn't even the best player. I wasn't even the 10th best player on the team, but I'm the face of the team because I'm the quarterback. And now you're asking me to carry a franchise. I don't think that's, if I'm a franchise that's drafting and you want a guy and you see a guy that valuable, like I'm thinking of a guy that's been with a team that, is kind of middle ground, not the best team, right? But it has pushed his team and elevated it to a certain level. Like, ironically, as we were talking about, Bo Nix, like, wasn't the greatest in Auburn, but then you saw him in Oregon, you were like, oh, he took that next step, right? That's why I feel a way about Carson Beck. Like, I know they're talking about Carson Beck. Oh, he should have came out of college. I don't trust Carson Beck. I don't.
Neither does Miami.
Because I watch
right
what
now.
What happened?
Neither does Miami right now.
Miami or Georgia.
Yeah. Like he went from Georgia to Miami and he looked good in the beginning, and then it's just like then he shows that he's still Carson Beck. So to me, again, I think
Lambo or Ferrari, he's got something, right?
He has something, but he's going to be a backup quarterback.
Yeah, no,
is what I see him being. Like that's what he's going to be.
If he would have came out last year, he would have tricked a lot of people.
Yes,
it would have been like like a Kenny Pickett kind of deal where it was just like, he's quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm with you, Hayes. I
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just that thing, and I wish I understand that organizations have we got to find the guy now, right? But I also wish organizations, even though I don't care for the Packers, follow the Packers blueprint, is let our guy sit behind somebody, find somebody that's comparable enough to win some games so we don't lose our fan base and have them call for, our rookie to be there. Let him learn behind a comparable quarterback. And I know that's asking for a lot in certain situations, but allow them to grow. Just throwing them out there and they're not that guy right away, that's it. But if you see a guy that has the intangibles like Jackson Dart, who we've been calling for Jackson Dart prior to, you could see what he did in college. That guy has the tools to be the guy. He has the aura to be that guy. And you see that along with the talent. It's like, okay, we need to give this type of person an opportunity.
Yeah, I think it's just such an inexact science, and it is very every person drafting has a different fit, and it's like you don't know how a guy's going to handle that pressure of being drafted top 10 and thrown into the limelight that way. They could have the talent, but not the mental capacity to do so. So, yeah, I don't blame the GMs a bit for it, but it is really, really inexact, and those teams that are drafting in the bottom area are not going to have an Aaron Rodgers in front of them too. So
yes,
yeah, it really is. Drafting quarterbacks is a complete crapshoot. Like,
but you look at it like Bo Nix. Okay, he does all the things that Sean Payton has done successfully and won a Super Bowl with. So yeah, this is the kind of quarterback I want. But also the ability, what did we do most of last year talking about the Packers when Jordan Love was hurt? And I still don't think Malik Willis is much of a quarterback. but here is an organization that said, okay, we have to pivot. We need to succeed. This is what he can do well, and this is what we need to do. And like the Greg Roman Lamar offense at first, and then that did its thing, and then they're like, okay, we're going to open it up now. It's and Lamar is a very good passer. If you don't think Lamar Jackson's a good passer, I don't know what the hell you're watching. But it's just that it's that double-edged sword, right? I hate when coordinators come in, they're like, we're going to run a 3-4. I don't care if you've been running a 4-3, but it's like, no, but this is our personnel. It's like
that's what we drafted to.
Yeah. Yes. Just play do what works. Like, do what you have. Yeah. Like, find the pieces and make it work. And that is something also that, who was it? Kevin O'Connell said, like, organizations fail quarterbacks more than quarterbacks fail them. And it's a perfect example, so.
Yeah, I think it's just the system in itself. I mean, and we've done enough because I want to hear what your L is that I see is blank, Sam. But I'm curious to hear what that is. Down.
And for the essence of time, and we've already, made jokes on Woody, so I'll just throw. Okay, my bad.
It's Woody. It's Woody.
Sure, why not?
My only thing is like with organizations is it's just the system in itself. The system for every team is win now. Right? We got to keep people in the seats. We have to be competitive. We got to win now, no matter what their team looks like. And I think that also is, again, organizationally a problem because you go and get, like you said, Sam, you go and get coordinators and you put them out there with these guys and they say, this is the system that we're going to run. And this is the system that I run. And you're going to conform to this. When this guy has been traditionally 4-3, you're now saying that he's going to run in a system that's a 3-4 that he's not accustomed to, or a 42, or whatever the system that's going to be from there, right? And that guy is not comfortable in it, and you know that it's a stud, and you know that doesn't play to their strengths, and then you're like, I wonder why he's not doing well. Because that's not what he's learned. Like, it takes time for them to learn. It's just like us in our regular lives. And I always compare it and break it down to this is when we go into our jobs, we're not the greatest in our jobs the first year, maybe not even the second year, right? Second year, we might start really getting it and understanding and being, comfortable in it. But that third year is kind of when you see that it's the make or break year, in my opinion, right? You can kind of see, did you get it or did you not get it? And then you flourish from there. But some places don't give people opportunities to even get that far. Is what are you doing for me now? Is the money that I'm paying you worth it? And that's kind of it. And that sucks. But that's really society in general now. So take it as you may.
TED Talks with Haze.
Thank you. So you had Woody, so we're not going to do that unless you have more you want to talk about.
I forgot, and I know we had a great conversation, so we'll move it along. Woody, you're a clown. Speaking of, I know Harrison, you're about to talk about the Vikings. Sorry, but the Chargers also they brought back the navy blue jerseys on Thursday. Those were fire.
Yeah,
love those.
Those are
love those. Junior Seau, love that. Harry, Vikings.
Yeah, I'll just touch on the Vikings real quick. After the year they had last year, and that the dominant defense, they've just been very lackluster this year. Carson Wentz now out for the year with a shoulder injury. JJ McCarthy, has anyone seen him? They had Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones on the roster last year, and I just have questions. So, a team that was looking like it was on the rise and going to contend with, the Packers or the Lions for the most part. Packers kind of didn't come out of nowhere, but they haven't been the cream of the crop. But a team that was supposed to contend with the Lions in the NFC North is just looking rather mediocre at the moment. And, 2 losses in a row. They got Detroit next, then Baltimore. So, yeah, just watch this space.
I feel bad for Justin Jefferson, and I feel bad for all of us because we're not seeing probably the best wide receiver in the league being utilized in a proper manner because they just can't get the ball to him.
Nope.
And I think that is absolutely ridiculous that you let Sam Darnold, who had a career year with you.
What a ridiculous sentence.
Yeah. Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, come on down. Is Hayes mute for you?
Yeah, Hayes, I can't hear you, man. You're talking into the void. So keep it going. You're clowns, Minnesota. I don't like. Do you even make a? I mean, assuming I don't know what the record is. The Vikings won 14 games last year, right? So I don't know. Do you even try to like find a quarterback? Do you try to get Russell Wilson or something? You just kind of let it.
No.
You just kind of let
JJ's
this
there.
happen.
He's on the
No,
bench.
I know. I'm just saying, like, I don't know what the record is offhand. I'm sure they still have a shot. It's probably the toughest division in football, if not the NFC West. It's it's right there. So
from
I assume JJ is going to start now.
From the deep depths of Viking Reddit, everyone there loves Max Brosmer, so I would be interested in seeing what he's got. I don't know much about him. I know he's got a big arm.
How like the Jets fans loved like Greg McElroy and every other
probably
third string quarterback that came through. Mike
exactly.
White.
It is till we see it, I guess. But he could, you never know. You never know what you got till you try it.
I guess. I know we got with our picks. We got Bacon leading this week, and I took the L of the week here. So Bacon with the 9-3 record, Sam with the 8-4 record, Harrison with a 7-5 record, and myself with a 6-6 record. And Chat GPT was 9-3.
I didn't do Chat GPT this week because I didn't want to get embarrassed again. So
no, you should have done it. Listen, you can still do it after and just give the picks to Sam or myself, and then we can just post it up there because it needs to be out there. So we all picked the Chiefs tonight over the Commanders, even the robot. Apparently, so we have that. So the records so far for the season: Sam is still the king of the castle. I'm the king of the castle.
I'm the king of the castle.
80 39 record. Bacon 79-40. Myself 7.
Hayes cut out again. You like froze this time. So yeah, 80 wins for me, 79 for Brendan. Hayes got 72, 67 wins for Harrison. I don't know, Hayes. You're closer to Harry than you are to me and Brendan. So we'll see. You got to turn.
Did he cut me off of what I was saying? Because
a little bit.
Yeah, you froze.
It was because I'm keep getting these spam calls that everybody keeps getting because they have absolutely been ridiculous. So that is what that was. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to put do not disturb on because I'm not trying to deal with that no more. So there's that.
We're professionals. This is
great times. Love that.
Would you like to talk about your car's extended warranty?
No, it was the IRS trying to put me in a debt relief program. Right. So even better.
All
right. Week 9 picks.
No, let's talk about you being a loser for the second week in a row.
Well,
we don't want to do that.
We can do that, but let's talk about you being a loser always because you're always at the bottom. so we can, if we want to do that, we can do that too.
No, we can move on.
I thought so. Right. Week 9, teams on a bye: Browns, Jets, Eagles, Bucks. I got 2 weeks to not have to see the Eagles, and it makes me feel so good. No stress. Thursday night football: Ravens at Dolphins. I have the Ravens. Sam, we all have the Ravens. Bears at Bengals. We all have the Bears. Vikings at Lions. We all have Lions. Panthers at Packers, all have the Packers. Broncos at Texans, we all have the Broncos except for Harrison, who has the Texans. Falcons at Patriots, you all have the Pats except for me, I have the Falcons. Niners at Giants, we are split here. Sam and I have the Niners. Harrison and Bacon have the Giants. No shock that Bacon chose the Giants here. Colts at Steelers, we all have the Colts. Chargers at Titans, we all have the Chargers. Saints at Rams, Jags at Raiders, Jags, Chiefs at Bills. We are split here. Harrison and I are Chiefs, which I should probably change that now. Sam and Bacon, Bills. On Sunday Night Football, we have the Seahawks and Commanders.
I have no conviction there, by the way.
That's fair. We are all split on that one as well. Bacon and I have Commanders. Sam, you are with Harrison. When you both have the Hawks, you might want to change your mind. Cardinals at Cowboys. We all have the Cowboys except for one person.
I'm changing that.
No. Keep the Cards because that's your pick.
I said the Cardinals were going to have to show me before I picked them again, so that's where we are.
Okay, so we all have the Cards. All right, so there's that. don't want to ask you guys about the picks. I want to talk about what has taken over the airwaves in sports and has impacted, which is kind of sad because it stopped the headlines of what we really should have been talking about with the amazing performances of several players in an opening week of the NBA. But we have this gambling scandal that has taken over the whole entire world at this point in time. Um, there's names that you guys may know that stand out in this. You have Chauncey Billups, Terry Rozier, Damon Jones. You're even hearing alleged names as in KG, LeBron, so on and so forth, potentially being a part of this. Connections to the mob, games being rigged, Oceans 15, all this stuff. So, gentlemen, what is your thoughts on this whole scandal at this point in time?
I think it's rather unfortunate, like you said, for the week that the NBA had. Obviously, we got a premiere on NBC, which was awesome.
Yes.
New games on Amazon Prime, which were also great. We got to see the inside the NBA crew still with ESPN. They didn't change a thing with them, so it was awesome. And you got Wemby with ridiculous performance after ridiculous performance. You got Wemby versus Zion earlier in the week. You got just a whole host of different things that the NBA should have been talked about last week. And I love what the media has pivoted to more just on the court analysis instead of the drama of like putting all of their players down, which was the gift and the curse of Inside the NBA being the premier kind of mouthpiece for the league. But it was really nice to see that last week. And then, the morning after opening night, you get this big bombshell drop from the FBI that Chauncey Billups and Terry Rozier are being arrested or indicted or whatever the verbiage is for it. So just really disappointing. I'm super curious what will come of it. The Chauncey one is so wild and different than the Terry Rozier one.
Yeah.
I'll touch on the Terry Rozier one first. I think the NBA and all of their gambling partners and ESPN's gambling partners have a huge problem here, especially in the lines of prop betting. And I'm very against all of these prop bets. I'm fine with gambling. Gambling's been around for ever and ever, sports gambling especially. But the prop bets are completely out of control. Like if you can put a prop bet on an over-under of how many rebounds Terry Rozier gets, that's just too much. It's too much, and I'm really, really tired of it. And it's easily going to impact the league and the players. Like that's you're just asking for it at that point. When you put a prop bet line on an athlete that's not getting in the game, barely going to make an influence, you're just asking for that to be manipulated. And the ease of which these guys can do that, it's a gambling problem. It's an addiction, but the ease with which they can do that and make some money for a friend or whoever, they're going to, not that they're going to do it, but it just makes it so easy for them to do it. And it really needs some serious regulation when it comes to prop betting. And that's kind of the hill that I will die on.
Yeah, you said that the other day, and I completely agree. Like prop bets I don't really bet to begin with, but prop bets, especially when you can easily do the under on anyone, right? Like, why should we be? Why are there prop bets for? Isn't that how that guy in Toronto got?
Yeah, Jonte Porter.
Porter.
He's the 13th man. Why does he have a prop bet?
Right. So stuff like that. Yeah, the league has a problem here. All the leagues have a problem. We saw it earlier in the baseball season with Manuel Clase and Luis Ortiz, where there were prop bets that the first pitch would be a ball or not, and that's if you saw the pitches that were in question, those guys lobbed it right, way out of the strike zone. At least try to cheat, right? Like try to fake it. But there's a problem. I completely agree. I mean, I don't really gamble some the big games or something I'll put money on, but it's fine. I don't really know. It's here to stay. It's one of these things where, to your point, Harrison, it's been going on forever. It's going to continue to go on. Let's try to regulate it somehow. But yeah, it's just a mess. And I know we don't have enough information, and the stuff with like Damon Jones and being a close friend of LeBron, and then telling bookies or whoever that like when he wasn't going to play before like the injury reports come out, like that's certainly problematic. And then, the Chauncey thing's a whole other situation, which I don't know if we have the time or the knowledge to really unpack, but at the moment. But yeah, it's really interesting. And I made this point to you the other day, guys, that like somewhere Steve Ballmer's like in Englewood smoking a cigar, being like,
heats off me.
Like, well, he doesn't have to worry about this whole Kawhi stuff. So like,
Yeah.
but this is a mess. It needs, there's going to be a breaking point this much, with the traditional sports leagues and gambling. This may be, hopefully it's not the tip of the iceberg and there's some regulation that can come from it. But yeah, it's just a mess.
I think that both parties have a want to come to some regulation too, because it's like obviously the league doesn't want it, but even the gambling partners too probably don't want this, because
they're losing money.
They're losing money, but also like the belief in the system that is gambling is under attack, because you have players on the take. So it's like, how do I know if I'm betting on the proper things when these things are manipulated? So
Yeah.
I think there is some space there for some regulation, and this is the tip of the iceberg with pro sports. But college sports has been completely inundated with these problems as well. And they're way more widespread because these guys they're making money now, but they're not making millions of dollars that can set someone up for the rest of their life.
For the most part, right?
Yeah. So this is it. So you got guys on, Division II teams that have prop bets, or it's just insane and out of control, and it needs help big time.
I know I said in the chat, I told Harrison to shut his mouth when he was talking about the prop bets, and he called me a degenerate gambler, which I am not. But the funny thing about this is, as a person that gambles outside of these two, I always thought it was very interesting that you can bet on such like a refined stat and get all the way to the point of being like, oh, they can get over or under. Like I did it for a parlay last night. It was like 5 catches for somebody. It was 5 catches for Tyler Warren, and he got 4 catches. Right? Like it killed me that he didn't get one more catch. Right? But I just bet on him getting 5 catches. Right? Something that I have no idea and have no control of. Right? But he can look at it before the game and be like, okay, what I can do? Like, hey, listen. Nephew, just make sure that you put 4, because I'm gonna get under 5. You know what I mean? Like, and it makes it that way. And to your point, Harrison, gambling has been around forever, but we didn't have access to gambling like this before.
No,
you had to literally go to a place like Vegas to gamble, or Atlantic City to gamble.
Yeah.
You couldn't just do it sitting on your couch at 12 o'clock before the 1 o'clock games came on. You didn't have the capability of doing it before. You had to literally be at some place and allow yourself to do that. And even then, at that point in time, it wasn't, from my understanding, so you could do it pretty granular. But again, you had to actually go there unless you knew a bookie, which then obviously that's a whole nother situation. And then you might get your legs broken and you might swim with the fishes. That's a whole nother thing that you got to do there. But I'm not gonna lie when I say that I would not be mad if prop bets disappeared, like for players when it gets down to that point, because I think you guys highlighted it as of how like a guy that could be a bench guy or a guy that's on a D2 school, and has an effect on the game that can be like, you know what, I'm not gonna make this much money. I can just throw this part of the game because I know the game plan and I know I'm gonna get in X amount of minutes this game, and there's going to be certain plays for me, and I can ruin it or mess up this prop from that point in time. And I can tell somebody to do it.
The Terry Rozier stuff that's going viral, and I haven't followed that whole thing from back Charlotte, but like it looks like blatant, blatant throwing of whatever stats.
Well, I heard he was like down bad, so it was to the point that he was in trouble with some very not friendly people.
But
people would call that out as it was happening. Like
Yes.
that's how bad the Terry Rozier stuff
Yeah.
was. It's like
and
this guy is throwing
to the point about the accessibility of it. I mean, the Tim Donaghy stuff. What was that? 15 years ago, and it got uncovered 15 years ago. Like how hard it was for the average person to make a bet.
Yes.
Because I don't know any bookies.
Nope.
I don't go to Vegas often. I don't, I'm not in that world. So I know it would be different if you are, a hardcore gambler. But now, to your point, I have 6 betting apps on my phone that I just need to show my face and it unlocks.
All you got to do is sign up the first time and you get, you fail your bets, you get $100 back in credits. And why not sign up,
Yeah. So it's just so much easier that why not, like, Tim Donaghy is not the outlier here. Devontae Porter is not the outlier here.
Mm-hmm.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
I don't even,
I don't want to.
Part of me doesn't even want to know.
No.
Like, I think it could be that bad.
It's kind of like the steroids thing in baseball. It's like, at some point, everyone was doing something.
Yeah.
Regardless of the extremes, right? Maybe they weren't shooting steroids into their ass, but they were taking amphetamines and different stuff. Like all that stuff that, all that stuff was legal decades and decades earlier. It's not now. So, it's all, Again, it'll be really interesting to see how Adam Silver, who I think I still speak for you guys. I think he's the best commissioner in sports. It'd be really interesting to see how he manages this because this is a tipping point for sure.
This only
integrity, right?
It's slipping for me because it's just been thing after another that just erodes at the trust and the integrity. And like I said, part of me doesn't even want to know because looking back, it's like, wow, is this legitimate at all? It really kills your trust in sports and competition.
It adds fuel to the fire of what people have been saying for long. It's been rigged.
Yeah, I don't like WWE. I'm not a wrestling, but if this is just entertainment, it calls into question a lot of things about what I love about sports. So I truly, I don't want to. It's not that deep, but it is that deep.
Yes,
it can be. Yeah,
it can be. Yes.
So for sure.
I mean, money talks, bullshit walks. At the end of the day, and money rules all of this.
Yeah.
So it's where the money is. It's where's that. It's the problem in general that plagues many fields and industries, and it's just very, very unfortunate. It's also very, very unfortunate that we got this before we got something else. But college football.
Well, let me just I just put a bright spot on the NBA real quick.
Please.
So Victor Wembanyama, utterly insane. Like
insane.
Like
so good.
I hope that people can just I know a lot of people don't watch regular season NBA, but please just watch this guy. Like, it is my mission to go see him live. Like, it is truly, truly, truly ridiculous what he's doing. 7 feet 4 inches, but probably 7'7" from what a lot of people are saying. Insane. Moving like Kevin Durant, handling the ball like a guard, shooting from deep, blocking everything. Like, this dude should win MVP for the next however many years if he can stay healthy and Defensive Player of the Year. And if they build it right, they should win every title possible because he is that dominant of a force. We have not seen this level of dominant force since LeBron in the early Cavs days, and then like Shaq. Like, he is that different. So
this goes back to what I was saying in football is when you got a guy like this that everybody, and I mean everybody, is saying, even players are saying how good this player is going to be.
Yeah.
That's when you believe it. But when you hear just certain analysts saying it, you don't actually hear the players talking about it. I don't believe it. I heard every player under the sun, retired, playing, whatnot, saying that this guy is going to absolutely be a problem. And he's been absolutely a problem. And he's going to continue. The thing is, he's so young and he's still getting better. It's so early in his career.
I'm super curious, too, if like he can be the face of the league as, not an American. So that is going to be fun to see, too, of like how how the kind of public discourse grows about him over the next couple years to say, hey, this guy is clearly the best player. Can he be the face of our league and can he be the face of our sport?
Clearly at this point more Tim Duncan than he is Kobe.
Honestly, right. He is. No, he's actually mentally insane. Perspective wise, maybe, but like if you watch him and like his interactions on the court and with his teammates, he is like locked in, like he has a chip on his shoulder. Like a 7'4" guy shouldn't be that psychotic about winning, but he actually is. You know what I mean? Like, you know, most big men, they play because they're big. Like he plays because he literally wants to rip your heart out.
Yeah,
like he is that good. Competitive.
Good point.
So yeah, hopefully we see more of that from him, and that kind of narrative gets out about how psychotic he is about winning and what his goals are and how he wants to be the dominant face and he wants to be the face of the league. So, and then people maybe embrace it, but we'll see because he's not American. So it'll be interesting.
That's well said.
Thank you. I love Wendy.
Also,
big Wendy fan.
Wendy is phenomenal. You know who isn't phenomenal? Brian Kelly.
No.
He's not phenomenal and has not been phenomenal anywhere he's gone. But he was fired from LSU, and they still owe him $54 million. Shout out to these coaches' agents for building up these contracts and knowing that these guys were probably going to get fired at some point. And that is I don't know where he goes. He'll definitely get a job again because he somehow continuously gets a job, even though his track record says he's dog water. But, you know, it's okay. What is your thoughts on this, gentlemen?
I mean, he just doesn't seem like a good dude. Like all of the stories.
Genuine. I was going to say exactly that. He just doesn't seem like a genuine guy.
Yes. And like all the stories you hear about, you know, they've had, you know, some tragedies and stuff like that about him not kind of rising to the occasion and, you know, the stuff he leaves behind. And we won't get into all that, but just like on its surface, he just does not seem like a good dude. So yeah, I don't know where he ends up next. Probably somewhere where they're going to pay him a lot of money again, because that's kind of what this industry is. And they'll just pay the same old guys over and over again. But, I think LSU will be better off without him.
I think college football will be better off without him. That's my thought. And I would have been better off if whoever wrote this next thing didn't do this. Clearly you had a stroke, whoever it was that wrote Penn State on here, because that's not Penn State, but whatever. Ohio State 7-0 versus Penn State this weekend. I know y'all purposely did this just to get a rise out of me, and I will not be watching.
I think Penn State shows up pretty well. I think they show out pretty well this weekend.
Well, you're going to have to let me know, because I'm not watching Penn State until they get their next coach, which would probably be Matt Rule. And
what if it was Brian Kelly?
I saw this thing. It was like ChatGPT predicts the next coaches, and it said Brian Kelly was going to be the Penn State coach. And I was going to say,
my brother in Christ.
I didn't want to deal with that shit today.
Listen, my brother in Christ, I would tell you this right now. I will take all my Penn State shit and I will burn it if he becomes the head coach.
That's fair.
You think I am playing? It will all be in the fire.
Next week,
I will not watch
Haze's top 5. I don't want them to be my next head coach.
I would gladly do that. But go give me Lane Kiffin.
I saw a tweet today, or X, or whatever we call him now, that said Brian Kelly is the CEO of James Franklin's. So,
well said.
But they got made me laugh.
That's fair.
Finesse guy,
That's
man.
fair.
They got the bag.
That is fair. It's
but I don't want to lump them together, because James Franklin seems like a remarkable.
He's a remarkable guy. He's a great guy. He's a great guy. He's genuine. He's actually genuine.
He seems genuine.
We need to reach out to him, Harrison. We need to do that.
I know. I still got to send him that.
You should send him the contract that you wrote up.
Yeah, we're gonna do that.
Indiana and Texas A&M are an other top 5 unbeaten's 8-0.
I was saying Indiana, Texas A&M are the other top 5 unbeaten.
Okay.
BYU is 8-0, and they're like number 10, but BYU. So
I don't know anything about college football this year, is because Penn State has been so god awful. College football doesn't exist to me this year, so my girlfriend's happy about that, because she knows that I not
You have
watching any
you
football.
have a
So
Saturday.
Saturdays are open. Yeah, Saturdays are open for her. So she gets a break from football that's on Monday,
Come on, Hayes. We're
Thursday.
going to the pumpkin patch.
Yeah, yep, exactly. So she's so happy about it. So very happy. She's gonna be happy for the next 2 weeks too, because there's no football
Yeah.
for me on Saturday, and the Eagles don't play, but I'll still be watching games, but not as much. So she's gonna be excited.
It's been rather interesting. I mean, Ohio State is 7-0. Indiana has been building for years now with Kurt Signetti, and
Yep.
they're 8-0. So we'll see where it goes, but it has been pretty interesting.
Who's
if you want to,
who's
tune
gonna
in
be
for
the
playoff time.
next Jets head quarterback when we get the first pick in the draft? Is it the kid from Indiana? I see.
Yeah,
I keep
it probably
seeing
should. It probably should be. He's very good. I like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna start watching film.
Yeah, watch Indiana.
Speaking of, have you guys been watching baseball?
Yes.
I watched a little bit of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a fun series so far.
It has. Shout out to George Springer's wife.
Mrs. Springer. All right.
Yep. Because she is a local. She's from our area.
Oh, is she?
She is from the Kingston Rhinebeck area. Just to let you know that
George grew up in outside of Hartford. So.
I know that as well. They are
Avon Oak Farms.
There's I have friends that are very close to them, and I just know that she's been getting slandered for her showing so much excitement for her man and what he's been doing.
The hell up, man.
And that's exactly where I was going to go. So thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. But all in all, I mean, it is a good series so far from what I've seen. I'm this is going to be crazy and probably blasphemous, but I'm 100% rooting for the Dodgers because I don't need the Blue Jays to sit here and be like, oh, they're still saying F the Yankees as if they haven't already beaten us. It's very funny, but I want the Dodgers to win, and they probably will still win, especially when you got guys out there pitching complete game shutouts or complete games in general, and just dealing. So it's fun. It's fun seeing small ball baseball, and then also power as well, and more consistent. Like I like this is baseball to me. So I'm liking what I'm seeing, but I'm not fully invested at all. So there's that.
George Springer grew up in hard hit in New Britain, Connecticut.
Yep.
So shout out to the Rockcats, RIP.
There you go.
I just want to see it. I want to see it go 7, make the Dodgers sweat a little bit. I still think the Dodgers win, but I'd like a game 7.
Was so good, man. This team is so deep.
I love game 7s, so let me see. Let me get one.
Bring it. Yeah, bring it on. Yeah, Donnie Baseball. Donnie Baseball.
Drake is diabolical for wearing the jacket that he wore. I don't know if you're familiar.
I didn't see that.
I saw the jacket, but I don't know the reference, so lay it on us.
Do you remember the what was he, the governor or something like that in Canada? The one that was like active in a drug addict, the one that was doing all the drugs. That was the jacket that he actually wore. Like he was like so Drake knew exactly what he was doing when he wore that. Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, no, I think it's just very interesting to see, all that's coming out and seeing, it's the only baseball team in Canada. So just seeing how live this is in Canada and how that fan base is rooting. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen it. And in the last time this actually happened that we had the Toronto Blue Jays in there, Big Daddy was the movie that we all knew about, and that was it. So, yeah.
Shout out Canada.
Yeah, shout out Jon Stewart.
Yeah, shout out a great city that what Canada is. But I still hope they lose, but I am pulling for George Springer and Bo Bichette. And as a Yankee fan, I'm sure some people will be like, you're going for Springer, and yes, I am. So
Donnie Baseball, baby.
Yeah.
And I hope both teams lose, but
that would be great.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Here we are.
What are we gonna do? On that note, Sam, take us home, please.
Yeah, that's it. 190 in the books. We're getting close to 200. We should throw a party.
Maybe.
Yeah, we should do that.
Full of pumpkin spice lattes and
so many pumpkin spice lattes.
So many.
Fetty.
No, but thanks for hanging with us. Tell your friends to listen if they don't. We appreciate those that do. So for Harrison and Brandon, I'm Sam. Thanks so much for listening. And I have to say happy birthday to Toni. My
Happy
sister.
birthday, Tony.
Tomorrow,
Happy birthday, Tony.
today, when you hear this, it's her birthday. So
Happy birthday, Tom Tom. Enjoy yourself.
Shout out Canada. Shout out France.
Shout out Canada. It's like Tony Kornheiser. Good night, Canada.
Yeah, good night, Canada.
We need to get one of those.
Go Birds.
Go Birds.
We don't. Just go Birds is enough. All right, everybody. Goodbye.